Hello, everyone. Welcome back to EECS 183. Before we begin, does anyone have any administrative concerns or any questions? All right, feel free to ask me after class today or when we have a break if anything pops up. All right, today we are going to go over arrays. You can think of an array as a container containing a bunch of items with the same type. These can be ints, chars, bools. For instance, here we have array 1, R1, and this has a bunch of ints, and it has a size of 9. These values here are going to be the indices. We can use these to access the elements at that location in the array. You can think of them as like coordinates. So here, in order to access anything within this array, we're going to use the square bracket syntax. So we're going to look at array 1 at the 0th index. So what is that? It is right here. So it's 0. So now we want to look at array 1 at the 3rd index. So we're going to look for the 3rd index and find the value at that array, or find the value of the array at that index. So that's 96. Okay, so here's another example. We have just 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9. What is array 2 at index 0? Yep, it's 1. What about at index 3? Very clever. Yes, it's at 4 because we have 0, 1, 2, 3. The 3rd index has the value 4 and not this 3, which is at index 2. What if we wanted to look at array 2 at index 9? If we continue filling these all out, we get this 9 here, and that's outside of the array. So this would actually be undefined. It is just a piece of memory that we aren't accessing. It could look like this if this is our whole strip of memory and it keeps going forever in both directions. Not forever, but the size of your computer. And it can be 555, it can be 25, it can be hello world, or it can be a picture of a cat. We don't know. Okay, so if we try to access an index outside of our bounds, it's undefined. We don't want that. So now initialize an array. How do we create one? We are going to create one using the using our value here. So we're making an int array of size 5. And we don't specify anything here. That just means we're going to use a default value. So for ints, this default is 0. So as you can see, this is an array of size 5 with all zeros. And notice our indices go up to 4, not 5, because we have this 0th index. Arrays in C++ are 0 indexed. So now what if we want to create an array of strings? We're going to call it the yay array. And we're not going to specify anything in here. So what C++ will do is automatically specify the size of the array based on the number of values that we pass in. So here we have 4 values. I love EECS and 183. That's 4 values. So C++ will implicitly say, okay, there's 4 values here. So that's what this array would look like. Again, notice how we have up to index 3 for this case. Okay, so now we have another int. We specify the size, but we don't give enough values to initialize. So what this will do is actually fill in the rest of the array with the default value. Again, for ints, it's 0. So we get 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. Again, notice how in the first spot of the array is the very first one. So it's just an order, how you would expect it to be. It's pretty intuitive. So iterating through an array, what if we had the yay array that we just initialized, that we just created, and we want to print everything out? So we're going to look at, we have a size counter. We want to keep track of that, as well as this for loop. What if we did for int I equals 0, I is less than or equal to size? Yeah. So we would have to go all the way to 4 and then access this, but it's outside of our array. Undefined behavior, we don't want that. So just be careful to always do I is equal to 0 for the start and less than size. Then we increment I. We see our yay array at index I. Does anyone know what that look like? Yeah, nice job. I love EX183. There's no spaces because we didn't specify them, and each one of these does not have spaces. All right, thank you for coming. If you guys have any questions, I'll be here for a little bit.